going, you'll see a white box on your screen asking you to say if it's okay or you got it, that we're recording, so that's, and it's okay with you. Okay. So here we are. We're going to work on our stretching, being long, lengthening the spine. Okay. So let's get now into our good posture. Okay. And part of our good posture is to try to hold the chin in and kind of tuck it in, not down. Just tuck it in so you feel like you stretch a little bit of the stretch here. We don't want to strain ourselves, but we want to get that little bit of stretch and lengthen these. This here helps you, if you have the forward head, tightens these muscles. So we're going to pull the chin in, lengthen the head up. Okay. Let's take a few nice breaths. Really fill the whole chest area. And as you exhale, feel that exhale, the relaxation go all the way down to the feet. But as you exhale, imagine you're getting taller. The spine is getting longer. You're getting straighter, right? So you can think of something like inhaling, exhaling, really lengthening the body. Okay, taking the pressure off the spine. Okay, let's inhale up. And exhale down. So as we're exhaling, the spine is getting longer, the neck is getting longer. The chin stays pulled in a little. Inhale up. Turning the hands. So working the joints. Fingers stand up a little bit, get a little bit of stretch in the arm muscles. Inhale up. Okay, be careful when you inhale up. You don't do this. Just try to inhale, just like bend the elbows. Try to keep the shoulders down. Of course, the shoulders do rise up here. And let me show you something about the shoulder blade. When we inhale up. Now, instead of lifting the shoulders, we inhale up, we turn the hands over, and it's the shoulders kind of go out like this. That's how they get up. So you can feel the shoulder blade rotate out and exhale down. Okay. So let me give you a little bit more of anatomy look at this. So my shoulders rotate out. That's how I can get that height. And exhale down. Okay, a couple more times. It's a simple exercise, but it has a lot of interesting aspects. And we're going to open up a little bit. We're going to work with a little bit with the hip hinge, the hip flexor here. So sitting back. Make sure and then you can put your hands on your hips. Like sometimes we don't notice it, but one hip is more forward than the other. I'm exaggerating. But see if you notice that and see if you can get them even. I get this long piece of wood here. So sometimes my hip might be one way. So try to have the hips, see if you can notice the hips are even. Okay. I would make sure my hips are even. All right, so we're going to pivot. Notice the spine here is nice and long. Okay, not arch and not flex. So not extended, not flex. Just there is a little bit of straightening, obviously. So we're going to inhale. And then exhale. And now the hips even. So just pay attention to your body. And then push with the bottom of the hand, fingers up, shoulder blades down. Inhale. Okay. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale. And again, as we exhale, imagine getting taller. Inhale. Keep the chin pulled in. And then exhale. Inhale. Now, let me show you this thing. From here, be careful of this. Hold down. Right? Okay. Inhale. Exhale. Right? Hold down. Okay, you can even get a little bit of engagement. We just want to wake up the muscles. There. Okay, let's back together. Inhale. Exhale. So now for this next one, the hands are going like this. Okay, and then we just, so just when we go up, so inhale up. Exhale down. Now imagine, now again, with the shoulder blade rotating, the shoulder blade goes like this, but the hands look like they go straight up. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And push down. Exhale down. Up. Exhale down. Up. Filling the body with air, with breath. And as you exhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale down. Okay. And then let me just do this for a moment. All right. Sorry. Okay. I will need a better videographer. Okay, so when we do this one, we're not doing this. Just try to keep the shoulders relaxed. Let's just work a little bit of this. Trying to keep the spine straight, right? Try to keep the spine straight. So we're not overarching and we're not. Okay, so whatever your ability is, just a little bit of rotation in the shoulder. Okay. Again, keep the shoulders down. Okay, so ready? Ready? So inhale. And then exhale, turn the hip. Inhale, exhale, turn the hip. Inhale, exhale, turn the hip. You know, we do this every week. And there's more that you could find in this little bit of sequence of 8 exercises. Shoulder rotation, elbow extension, flexion, hip rotation, right? Working all the joints of the body with good posture, lengthening the spine. Okay. And then relax. Yeah, we'll do a little bit of swing up and down. Now up. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can be soft in the knees, please. Feel the weight go right down to the feet. Keep the spine straight. What we want to avoid is like throwing our back out. So just nice and down. All right. So let's work a little bit of hand flexibility, hand strength. So we'll do the grip up and then down, up, then down, up and down, up and down. Okay, and then we'll go back to the fists, down, up, down, and then open, pull back, up, down, get a little stretch in the forearm, down, and then the fist. So 3 rounds. Okay, and then an open, up. Good. Shake it out. Okay, so let's do a little bit of hip movement. We'll go nice and slow. I really just kind of we're just thinking about the hip. Nice and easy. Just work the hip, not the back. Okay. You know, you can even stand a little bit taller because the whole idea is just to move in the hip, right? We don't need to really go, we don't really need to throw the back out. Move the hip a little bit. Okay. We could try a little figure 8. Just find how that hip joint works. Okay. So now we'll work on our hip flexion on our hinge. And you know, you could take it this way because this is a way to stretch the hamstring. But we can also do a couple other ways to work on our hip hinge. This is just pure hip hinge. Okay. If you have more ability or more range, I should say, not ability. We all have ability. It's the range just different. Okay. And let's go the other way to open up this part of the hip. Okay, so keep the core engaged, abs on. If this is very tight on people, for them to do this, they'll try to compensate by arching this. They want to keep this as in the neutral position. And you know, in other, I guess, physical disciplines, they try to extend that. In Tai Chi, the whole idea is to maintain that nice natural spine. Okay. Lengthen here. Okay, good. Come on up. Now I have you all on mute, but I think I'm going to take that off in case any of you guys, you know, if you want to unmute yourself, go ahead in case you have to ask a question or something like that. But so if you have a question, just go ahead and unmute yourself. All right. So let's do a few swings and then we'll get going with the Tai Chi. So it's nice and easy. Knees soft. Don't let the knee cave in too much, right? We just keep the knees nice and stable. We're thinking of moving here. Let the arms relax. You can give yourself a little self massage. Okay. We'll do a little bit of this, just hands up. And then 1. Okay, just come back to the top. Okay, and just nice and easy. Okay, let's try the other side. So I started with left forward. Let's go down. Okay, up and then down. So here I face one way and I go down. Okay, turn and face. No, go the other way. Turn and face this way. And then you can get a little rotation if you like. Good. All right. All right. Let's go and do the form. I'm going to switch the camera to landscape. That seems to work better. Okay. I know other people like on YouTube. I'm not actually a YouTuber. I only do this for us, right? I know there are people who just, they do everything on YouTube. This is just for us. Okay, good. So we'll go ahead and do the form now, or we'll do parts of the form. I do want to mention, because I've really been focusing on our posture, right? So when we do our push in all the postures, so your spine is built a certain way. It has, I'm going to over exaggerate so you know so the top has a what they call a kyphosis. So there's that arch, and the low back has a lordosis, a lumbar. And there's a natural curve here in, and a natural curve this way. So it's like this S curve. Okay. And what happens is sometimes because whatever we do, we sit too much or, whatever, we start over, right? So when we do the Tai Chi, we want to kind of also be aware of what's going on with that. So let's go and start with our, just a couple of things. So I'll go with the side view because we'll just do the push. Okay. So let's inhale up. As I inhale up, the feet ground into the floor. I pull my chin in so I get the neck long. Okay. And we're just going to use the Tai Chi to gently, keep our spines nice and healthy, our back nice and healthy, working the joints. Okay. So I'm just going to step forward and I'll start the push. Now you guys can just stay here where you are. I'll just turn facing you so you can see my adjustments. Okay. So my feet are not wide out. They're about hip width apart. I'm just relaxing the arm. Okay. Pulling the chin in. And I want to just kind of get to use my hips to move my arm. If you just put your hands here and just kind of get into your legs, into your hip, it's like this rowing thing, right? So I'm going to use my legs, my body, and then the arms give you that sense of rowing, the weight of the arms. Just soften the shoulder. Okay. And just feel the arms just move in their socket. They just follow this motion. Feel the weight of the body. The weight of the body changes from one leg and like it flows into the other leg and then it flows back. Okay. And I like the idea of the flowing instead of like 1, 2, 1, 2, right? So just get the idea of flowing from one leg to the other. So they gradually transition from one leg to the other. The hands just follow that transition. The hands are relaxed. Okay. Keep the chin in. That will prevent this, right? Keep the chin in, so lift the chest up, lift the head up. And that will naturally engage some of those, what they call the extensor muscles in your back. The extensor muscles help to do this to your back. Okay. So a lot of times if we're hunched like this, our extensor muscles are weak. So we want to keep our extensor muscles in good shape. Nice and easy. With the fingers opened a little bit, you can start feeling maybe a little tingling in the fingers. Okay, we're working on nice circulation, feeling the shift from back foot to front foot, shoulders up, pulling the chin in. So when the hand comes down, it's almost like my head stretches forward. I'll be quiet for a while. And you could go at your own pace. Just slow down, notice everything. Try to notice everything. What are the knees doing? How are the feet reacting to the floor? Let's switch legs. So I'm going to do the step up, step back. So step up, but don't step up. Keep a certain height and then come back. Okay. Feel how the arms work with the shoulder blade. How the shoulder blade works with the back of the body. Go back of the body. So you can think the back of the body is moving. Okay. The back of the body is moving. I'm going to face you this way a little bit. And now I'm going to work a little bit of hip rotation into this. I go to open a little bit, come back down the center. I open to the side a little bit, back to the center. This is all hip movement. Okay. I'm not moving my foot. Just a slight opening and closing of the hip. A step up, step back, we'll work the other side. Okay, so let's try one hand down and just work with one hand. We'll just deconstruct this a little bit. So I'm going to push this hand, and this hand's going to push down. Okay, so we can just go one hand down, pushes down, one hand comes forward. What does that feel like? Working the connections between the hands and the body. Okay, and let's try if we can make it a little bit more of a circle. So one hand circle. This hand pushes down, this hand pushes forward. Now, the hands pushes down and forward because the body goes back forward, right? So I'm not doing this with the hand, I'm not doing that. I'm just kind of using the body to give the hands the strength. Feel that movement. Feel that connection in the whole body. When we finish here, you feel this connection, everything is together, and then relax. Notice the hands here coming down the middle. See how I open the body a little bit to the side, and I come back down the middle. Working this hip joint right in here. So when I work the hip joint, it doesn't mean I turn my knee in. When I work the hip joint, I can feel a little bit of opening in the hip in here. We would just take these simple moves. So let's step up, step back, and let's just work the one hand, right? Just 1, 2, like we did before. I think we just did one hand before, right? Just the hands come down and they push together. Down and they push together. Okay, 1, 2. And then let's try both hands. So one circles, and I'll give you a little side view. I would just do this so you know, it can be confusing which foot and which hand. Right? using the body to move the hand. The hands just follow along. They're not very independent. So let's remember, get that nice solidity at the end. So it's not tension, it's just like you're just kind of very solid, and then relax it. Opening and rotating the hip. So this is called internal rotation of the hip. External rotation, opening the hip. Internal rotation of the hip. Feel the arm create a curve through space. Give you this view here. Nice and relaxed. Inhaling, exhaling. A little detail here, when this hand is here, the heel of the palm feels very heavy, so it kind of goes like that. And then this kind of goes like that. So the heel of the palms are heavy. Okay. We work on these basic movements of the Tai Chi. Let's step up. Let's step out to the wide stance. About slightly wider than shoulder width, not very much wider. Okay. And then we're going to work with the hip joint to move this hand. So I'm going to put my hand here just so you can see that I'm going to move my hip and the hand follows that movement. Okay. I'm not going to let my knees cave in. I'll just try to move my hip a little bit. Okay. So we'll try the cloud hands and then relax it. As this one comes up and then move the hip. So we'll just do it very like, deconstructive. So we just relax it, then move the hip. Okay. Hands move at the same time. Move the hip. Okay, so this is a very kind of a simple way to do this to start. Okay, very digital. Moving the hip. Versus this, right? We're moving the hip. You notice the difference in quality. Shoulders down. Okay. So let's just see if we can do it and not so broken up, but all in one continuous move. Moving the hip and moving the hands. Moving the hips as I move the hand. Now, if you want, you could really get into moving your hips so you can get the idea of it. So I'm really moving the hip now, really turning in my hip. Okay. Or you can be a little bit more subtle. But just feel how you have to move the hip joint. And notice as you move the hip joint, it changes the weight distribution in the feet just by moving this. Okay. So we're not having to shift over. We just move the hip and then relax. Relax. Okay, we're kind of developing a little bit of leg strength, a little stationary leg strength. See how the feet respond to the movement? How you have to use the feet to actually turn the hip almost. Use the feet. Okay. So what we'll do now, we'll do a little bit of stepping with it. I'm going to adjust my, I'm going to adjust the school here. Right, here's this mat's the school. All right, and then we'll do a little bit of walking. You can take wide steps or small steps. Okay, so let's just kind of warm it up first. Just feel the hips move. Notice as you move the hips, the weight changes from foot to foot. So let's go nice and easy. Have the leg follow the hip. This leg here is going to be the standing leg. Okay. And again, since we do both sides, it doesn't matter if you start left or right. You could just mirror me. And just go slow. Don't necessarily take wide steps to start. Okay. We want to build up that strength in the leg. So we can take that wide step. And then we'll go the other way. Use this as a very simple way to work on that one leg balance, that one leg strength. If you are in bare feet at home or not, use it to develop that sensitivity in the foot. Right? Here's my foot. I feel the pressure on my foot. Put that pressure. I can feel this foot lighten. And then I apply that pressure to the other foot now. It's like I'm compressing, pushing on the ground, pressing the ground. Okay. So we can do this very moderately, working on our balance. Okay. Turning the hip, relaxing the arm. Just really feel, it's like you take that weight of the body and you drill it, you spiral it into the ground. Okay. You go the other way. So spiral your weight into the ground, not your knee. Don't torque your knee. Just like the weight goes right through the foot. This foot is nice and out and free. And be sensitive to the outgoing foot. So we have the outgoing foot, like feel the ground. It feels the ground. And it feels, oh, it feels really stable. So that means I could go ahead and release the other foot. Good. Okay. Now from here, let's just try, we'll try our brush knees from here. Okay. So just try a couple of stepping with the brush knee. 1. Pivot. Open the hip. Pick up. Again, doesn't matter which foot you start with because we do both sides. 2. Pivot. I open the foot from the hip joint, not from the knee. Open from the hip. Okay. Let's keep the same feet. We'll just go this way and we'll step backwards. Nice and relaxed. Pull the knee up a little. Okay. Good. And we can go forward again. When I go forward, the body settles. Okay. So feel like you really are very rooted into that standing foot. Okay, here's the standing foot. When I come forward, when I shift the weight, I'm going to feel rooted in this foot. Push all the balls of your foot on the floor. Those are your metatarsals. That helps you create that arch. Okay. Creates that arch in your foot. Support your foot. Support your knee. Okay. And then we go backwards. Chin in. Back of the neck long. Soft in the shoulder. Now, soft doesn't mean weak, right? It just means no tension. All right. Okay, I think we'll go ahead and try doing some of the form. I'm going to change the camera a little bit. All right. Okay. I will move the school around again. I got this idea of using this background because it helps you differentiate the color of my feet from the color of our flooring. Okay. So we'll go ahead and try doing the form a little bit. Now, just maybe a review, because I know some people have not been with me for a while. All right. So just in terms of technical Tai Chi and like very technical stuff, there's this thing called grass sparrow's tail. So we'll just review that a little bit. You know, you have all the big moves. It's the push, the brush knee, the stepping backwards, and the cloud hands. You know, ideally, that's a really very good. That's maybe all you need. It's kind of like music. You know, the Western music is was 12 notes with sharps and flats. It's a note 7. Oh, it's an octave. It's 8, right? So it goes A to G if you count from A. So basically, Tai Chi is just like that. There's only a few things, and the form is just it's your own melody. And you know how you can combine different notes to make a more complex piece. Okay, but this is anyway. Let's take it a music theory class online. Okay, so so let's just do this. I'm gonna have my right hand forward. So just start. So we'll go from here. This is grass sparrow's tail. Now, for you guys who already know this, see if you can get like right into your hip, into your legs. Okay, have the hands rest. So your arms rest on your shoulders, shoulders rest on your hips, hips rest on your legs. Okay, and just feel that connection. And then I'm going to move my hip very slightly. I move my hip, I move my hands. I can keep my eyes looking this way, or I can look at my hands in this area. What I don't want to do is this. Okay, so sometimes it's better just to look straight ahead, or imagine, you know, there's somebody ahead of you and you're just looking right at them to keep your head up. And 1. I move my hips to close this space. Okay, move my hips slightly more forward. I relax my hands. I might move my hips back and open. I move my hips in. This part of the Tai Chi form happens over and over. So this is like one of the little technical things. 1 and relax. And you could use this sequence maybe like a meditation, but not a meditation in the sense of zoning out, but as a meditation to focus your concentration, to focus your relaxation. Just everything has to be relaxed. You have to feel your hips move and your legs shifting from left leg, back leg to front leg, and to back leg again, right? Okay, front leg, front hand, back hand, back leg. And turning the hip, keeping the chin in. Feel how the feet react to this move. Okay, you could take the hands out. I mean, if you don't pay attention to the hands, pay attention to what's going on with the legs and feet. You can just kind of pretend you know what you're doing with the hands if this is too unfamiliar to you. One of my teachers, George Chu, said, you know, the feet are the controllers. They're the general of the army. The feet are the generals of the army. Do our push. So this sequence, this grass sparrow's tail sequence happens over and over. And you notice all the hip work that's involved in this. Okay. All the knees have to be straight. All right. Let's inhale. And let's work a little bit of form. And let's see how far we can go to. Now, as we go through the form, I know some of you, not everyone actually necessarily knows the form. So don't let that hinder you, right? Just do your best. Don't criticize yourself. You know, give yourself a pat in the back for actually, you know, doing Tai Chi. All right. Our main purpose is to have a relaxed, connected body. Shoulders open, chest neutral. So we're not sticking the shoulders, we're not sticking the chest out, just everything just nice and neutral. The ribs in line with the body. So I'm not sticking the ribs out either. I'm doing my best to keep to work by keeping my spine nice and long. Okay. You don't have to strain, just kind of give it a little bit, just a little effort. Okay. You can engage your core a little bit. That will support your back and your spine. So let's do the first move, which is just lift the hands. And I will try to go a little extra slow, which is good for those who know the form because it helps them slow down and develop a little bit more of that kind of internal power. Okay, internal strength. And it's really good for those who are a little bit newer or unfamiliar that they don't have to feel like they're rushing through to keep up. I'm going to step out. Okay, 1. Let this hand drop. And they kind of come together. And we have our grass sparrow's tail, which we just reviewed. Okay, turn the hip a little bit. Relax down. Let the arms just melt away. Okay, or let them be molten like lava. Heavy, but moving, fluid. Pull the chin in. Go slow. Think of lava flowing if that helps you. Okay, here's single whip. Feel the heaviness of the arm. The heaviness of the arm rests on the legs. Everything rests on the lower body. Don't pinch the shoulder blades. Let the shoulder blades open. Let the shoulder blades open. Open the hook. Let the arms just relax down. Feel the weight transfer from right leg to left leg and settle into that standing leg. Get down. Step back. Okay, the back hand up, the front hand down. Wide crane spreads wings. Feel the weight of the arm. Turn the hip a little bit. And then let's turn the hip into the brush knee. Okay. Now, here's a tendency to kind of do this. So let's just work on just keeping our bodies nice and long. Everything's engaged. The forward elbow relax down the body. So forward elbow, instead of lifting, relaxes down. I'm going to go off in this direction. I think it's better for you guys. 1. Feel the weight of the elbow. Okay. 2. We do one more brush knee stepping. 3. I push off. Weight of the elbow. Relax the elbow, relax the body. Body relaxes, posture is straight. Then we're gonna do the punch. We may review the punch. Okay, when I make the fist, I let this right elbow be nice and heavy. Let the fist elbow be nice and heavy. I step out. I step through and punch. Okay, the next one's called apparent close-up. So this hand's gonna go, I'm gonna turn my hip to bring my hand out. And I turn my hip back. And then I sit back. And I do my push. Now remember, the push is not like a push up. Like you just move the body. And then you open and we do our cross hands. The hands, not here, they're right here, nice and relaxed. This is too low. This is too high. So just somewhere perfect right here. So you can feel that the arms sit like on your ribs. Pull the chin in. Okay. The other thing to be careful of is like this. And versus this, that. All right. So let's continue a little bit. You know, when we meet outdoors, I think it'd be easier for me to teach you the rest of the form. But ideally, you don't really need the rest of the form. It's nice. You just need to do a few, learn some of the basic movements and work with the ideas. You have to take Tai Chi into the rest of your life, not just not when you're doing Tai Chi form, that is. Okay. Let's do that one again. 1. So cross hands. 2. Okay. Palm up. Lock the shoulder. Now, if the whole left-right thing is too confusing because we're on the video feed, don't worry about it. Just you know, do the movement, whichever foot's forward, whichever hand's forward. The idea is just to settle into the body, work on your posture. Okay, we're gonna just kind of open up. I'm just gonna step around, and then we're gonna do fist under elbow. So forward foot, forward hand, back leg, back hand, and the back hand makes a fist. It's here. The back leg carries the weight. Now this posture, we want to, right, up, nice and straight. All right, so we're not doing this, nice and straight. We're not doing this. Weight on the back leg. And we're gonna do our step backwards. Okay, relax the shoulders. So we did this in our beginning part. So if you look at all the Tai Chi form, it is just the things we did in the beginning, and we just put them in a pattern, kind of like the musical scale. Okay. We'll go here to here. To here. Then let the arms sink. Okay. Here. Okay, white crane spreads wings. One hand up, one hand down. Now let me show you something. I'm going to face you guys. I do a little turn with the hip. This falls through. And I do a little turn with the hip. This falls through. Okay. And then I do my brush knee. So turn with the hip. Turn with the hip. Brush knee. Remember, this pushes down, this pushes forward, but it's kind of like your body's doing that. I'm up and then back down. Inhale, exhale, hip hinge. Pull the chin in, back of the neck long, good neutral spine. Okay, so we're not hunching and we're not overextending. Neck in line with the rest of the body, so I'm not bending my neck out. Weight in the butt. Come up and come through. Turn. We just break it down. Chop, grab, pull. Smack down, out, come through. Okay. And then we can go back to the form. We're going to try to get all the way to at least cloud hands. There's the punch. Okay. Open the fist. We'll step out. On my YouTube channel, I did a video back last year sometime, or maybe 2 years ago. I did movements 1 through 50. So you can look at that. And I guess when the weather gets better, I'll do movements, I don't know, 50 to 70 or something. So you can work on, looking at the different pieces of the form. Single whip. Okay, let's do the cloud hands. Now in the form, the cloud hands always goes in one direction, right? So let's make it more balanced. Let's go in the other direction. Okay, let's go one more. And then the single whip. We'll add one, high pat on horse. Turn the palms open, up, pull back. Use your leg to pull your front leg back. Okay. And then relax and just come on over. Actually, yeah, we just do it from here. Okay, let's inhale. Exhale. Okay, before we go, I do want to just do a little bit with the punch. And we'll just do it very simple. Pick any hand. Okay. Make one hand a fist. You put your hand on your belly button if you want, or on your hip, and just move your hip. Nice and relax. Okay, the hand has a weight. And if you relax it, the weight of the arm sits here now. And if you can just relax into your hip, the weight of all this sits into your hip. And we can try the other side. So we'll deconstruct the punch in future classes some more. The punch happens over and over too, so that's something we should look at. But notice what is Tai Chi's teaching you this. Tai Chi's just teaching you this, how to use your joints. Okay. And just to finish, we'll go ahead and just practice this way. Okay. Just one. So you can use this as our Qigong, so very soft fist. Feel the weight. We can go way to the side, turn. Feel the weight. You can go back up the middle and down the middle. So my teacher, Master Chen, he had this as part of his Qigong. So I can lift with the legs a little bit and just settle back down into the legs. Keep the chin. Okay, and then we should just balance it by going the other way. Just be soft. Just keep breathing. Notice what happens. If you have good posture, you keep breathing. Soft, smooth movement. Okay, there's no like secret. I really don't think there's like some special secret. You know, yeah, the secret is you have to pay attention and not be tense. That is the secret. Right. All right, very good. So we'll go ahead and finish class. It's a little bit after 10. I know people have stuff to do. Okay. Thank you very much. I will put you guys, I'll stop the recording now.